On Wednesday, the Department of Justice dropped a bombshell indictment accusing a right-wing media outlet of pushing pro-Russian propaganda. The Justice Department alleges that two Russian nationals working for the Russia state-controlled media outlet RT used some shell companies to pay for an American media company $10 million so that they would publish content which advanced Russians' interests. Now, that company happens to be Tenet Media, which claims to be a platform for independent creators, but was allegedly used to push pro-Russia narratives online through those creators, through video. Now, 6 of them have been named, and 3 of them I'm pretty sure you are familiar with, okay? Among the commentators listed on Tenet Media's website is the disgraced former BuzzFeed guy and a known plagiarist, Benny Johnson. You know, BuzzFeed Benny Johnson. Then, of course, you have the beanied Civil War enthusiast, Tim Pool. Yes. And joining them in not-so-esteemed company is Dave High-Level Ideas Rubin. Yes, that's right. It turns out those high-level ideas is just literally just Russian propaganda. No wonder his brain needed to be in recovery mode. I guess they just needed to be uploaded with the latest Kremlin talking points. So now, how widespread was this, right? How much of an effect is it going to have? Well, in 2016, there was pro-Russian propaganda. There were Russian troll farms spreading misinformation and disinformation during the election cycle. I argued that it didn't have much of an effect, okay? But what about this? Is this going to have a huge effect? Did it have a huge effect? How many people did it reach? Well, the indictment says that Tenet Media went on to post nearly 2,000 videos that have garnered more than 16 million views on YouTube alone. That's it? Oh. Well, it's not very much, actually. Oh, interesting. Now, the other 3, you would think that people like Tim Pool, Dave Rubin, which, by the way, they get millions of subscribers, right? All between them, would have actually pulled bigger numbers. Again, we're not talking about Timcast IRL, which is his main YouTube channel, right? We're talking about a smaller show. I think it's something like Culture War podcast or something like that. And so, you know, maybe that's why it didn't get that many views. At the same time, like if you're saying, well, it's just that channel, and you know, Timcast IRL was not pushing pro-Russian propaganda. Yeah, absolutely they were. So, I mean, yeah, it's a difference between one show versus an entire channel, but still, you have people on there who are again pushing pro-Russia narratives. So now that said, the other 3 named were Lauren Chen, I believe Lauren Southern, Taylor Hanson, Matt Christensen. I'm only vaguely familiar with some of those other names. All right. Now that said, how much did the Russian government invest? About $10 million. That's a decent amount of money. So when it comes to this influence operation, it is real. But when you compare it to other influence operations, it's kind of chump change. Yes, I know, I just said $10 million is a lot of money. But when you compare it to, for example, AIPAC, which represents a foreign country and is bankrolled by a lot of right-wing billionaires in America, again, it is to advance the interests of Israel and specifically their military. They spent over $100 million trying to influence the outcome of Democratic primaries in this year alone. So, I mean, you do some comparisons, right? Israel's spending a ton more money than Russia. Now, I happen to think both of these things are bad and should not happen. We shouldn't have any spending on these foreign groups to push Russia or pro-Israel narratives and propaganda in our elections. But unfortunately, it does happen. I think they're both bad. Now, that said, you can clearly see which story the mainstream media has really glommed onto, and it ain't the AIPAC story, all right? Now, that said, I am not surprised that right-wingers were given money to do Russian propaganda videos. Why? Because propaganda is pretty much all the right wing does. They just happen to align with Russia because they're anti-LGBTQ and anti-NATO and things like that. So now, that said, Johnson and Poole put out their own statements here. In a post on X, Benny Johnson writes, "We are disturbed by the allegations in today's indictment, which make it clear that myself and other influencers were victims in this alleged scheme." Victims. Tim Pool also said something similar. "Should these allegations prove true, I, as well as the other personalities and commentators, were deceived and are victims. The show was produced in its entirety by our local team, without input from anyone external to the company." Now, look, I'm not sure, but there was a producer that said on a certain narrative that they were putting out that, I don't know, this seems like too much of a shill for us. And they're like, you know what? Let's run it anyway. Oh, yeah, but no, it was our team without any input. Sure. So, look, these guys, they push a bunch of pro-Kremlin talking points, right? Got paid for it, okay? And are now like, I can't believe we were deceived and victimized like this. Oh my God. Wait, what? You took the money. You took the money. And you didn't have any questions about where it came from? Really? You didn't look into it? Didn't inquire? No. This person's just going to hand me a wad of cash and I'm not going to really look into it? Now, I also love how he defends himself by saying, look, I had full editorial control of this entire thing. So wait, you had full editorial control, which I guess means that he is admitting that he is already so pro-Russian and putting out these pro-Russian right-wing talking points that they just hand him money to the tune of $100,000 a week. A week. Wow. Look, I've never seen that much money before. Okay. All right. But this guy, a week. Wow. I think my favorite part of this entire thing, too, is the projection, right? Every one of these far-right grifters accuse the left of doing the same thing, which is what? Soros checks. Oh, it's Soros money. George Soros is funding the left. George Soros is sending these people money to do, socialist talking points. Bro, if I had Soros money, you think I'd have student loans still? Come on. Maybe I'd have a proper studio. Maybe I'd have staff. Maybe a skate park. Oh, wait, no, that's not me. But that is Tim Pool. He's got a skate park. Look, at this point, it's almost like every accusation is really just a confession. Whether these guys knew it, that it was Russia or not, and I don't know. The fact of the matter is they were getting paid big bucks and didn't know where it was coming from, which suggests to me that on the right wing, this is normal. This is expected. That somehow there's always some shady billionaire, all right, or, right-wing government that's ready to give you money if you're a right-winger. That's what this tells me, okay? So there are people lining up to give right-wingers money for their views. I don't know. To me, that doesn't really sound like, well, first of all, it doesn't sound good, right? It doesn't sound like you really have core beliefs, and that it also tells me that if you really want to make money, just be a right-winger online, and then you just get the cash just flowing right into you. But the thing that it doesn't tell me is that you're a victim, because you benefited from it. You got the money. It went into your pocket. You're a victim? You're a victim. Okay, then. Sure, buddy. Sure. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, subscribe, hit the bell icon in order to get notified whenever a new video is released. And if you want to support independent, progressive media through this difficult time where it seems like everybody is shutting down, you can become a member on our YouTube page, you can become a subscriber on Facebook, or you can go to my Patreon. It's patreon.com/Jeff Waldorf. Thank you.